Alright, this video is for Chapter 3, Lesson 2 of Math Expressions, and my goal of this video is to try to teach you guys how to use division using the area model to divide. So, it kind of looks like this, where if we would have 253 divided by 6, I would set it up like this. So, please feel free to pause the video as much as you need to, or rewind if you missed a step along the way, because this process is different. It's unique. But once you get used to it, it does make sense. So we'll see how it goes. But so to set this up, what you got to do is draw a box like normal. You start with two sections. You can always add a section, to the right if you need to. But I start with two. Because I know I'm at least going to need two, unless it's like a small number, and then I wouldn't divide with an area model to begin with. But start with two sections, and then what you want to do is you put that big number that you're dividing, or otherwise known as the dividend, inside of the first box. So as you can see here, my problem is 372 divided by 5, and you put the 372, the big number, inside of the first box. And then the number that you're dividing by, or the divisor, you put on the outside to the left. Okay, so what we're doing is that backwards area model from multiplication. So I know that one of my numbers that I'm multiplying by are 5. Okay, so what my ultimate objective is, of course, is I want to find what number multiplied by 5 is going to get me really close to 372. So I'm actually kind of going backwards. I'm starting with the answer and dividing backwards. So here we go. So first of all, I'm going to check the hundreds. Okay, so knowing our place value, I know that 372 has 3 hundreds. Okay, so if you really think about 3 hundreds. Okay, so if you have 5 groups, can you do 100 into each group and stay under 300? And of course, no, you would need 500, because 5 times 100 each is going to give you 500. That's no good. You only have 300, not 500, so that's out. So okay, so hundreds are out. That means I'm going to have tens and I'm going to have ones. So I am only going to need 2 boxes, because this is of course going to be my tens place and this is going to be my ones place. So now I check my tens. I'm like, okay, how many groups of 10 times 5 can get me to as close as 370 as possible? So really what I'm looking at here is just the 37. Okay, I really don't care too much about the 2 right now. I'm only worried about the tens. So I have 37 tens. How many tens, or how many 5 times 10 can I get into 372? So I check my groups of 10. Okay, so 5 times 1 group of 10, or 5 times 10 is 50. Way too low. I got to get to 370, or really close to 370. Okay, so my goal is 370. All right, I want to get as close to this as possible. All right, so okay, that's out. So 5 times 20. No, that's no good. That's only 100. I got to keep going. So I keep going, and you can see my work on the bottom. So finally, I find that 5 times 7 groups of 10, or 5 times 70, just common terms, is going to give me 350. Now 350 is going to be perfect, because it's just under 372. So I've reached my goal. I got it. Okay, I figured it out. So now, where do I go from there? All right, so then, since I know that 70 times 5 equals 350, what I do is I'm actually going to put the 70 up above. Okay, so what I did is 70 times 5, and I got 350. So once again, the answer goes in, so that's 350. And then what I'm going to do is put that number, and then I'm going to subtract. So I started with 372. I put 70 into each group of 5. So if I have 5 kids, I gave 70, 70, 70, 70, 70 away. So I gave away 350. So I've given away a lot. So I need to figure out how much is left. Well, in order to do that, you subtract. So you subtract here, and what you do is you just do this. So you got 2 minus 0 is 2. And then 7 minus 5 is 2. So what I have left is 22. That number goes in the next box, and I put that up here. Okay, so now I've got 22 left. That's all I have. I started with 372, and now all I have left is 22. So now you want to divide that out. Okay, so I still have 5 kids, or 5 groups. So you're just going to what we've already learned is the small division, right? 22 divided by 5. All right? So you just check your facts, check your multiplication, check whatever you want to check. But what you're going to find out is, of course, 5 times 4 equals 20. So that's as close to 22 as I can possibly get. So because I know 5 times 4, and that's, once again, that's what I multiplied by. I multiplied by 4 to get to 20. So once again, I put the 20, my answer, in the box, and I subtract, and I'm going to end up with 2 left. So what does this mean? Okay, so what this means is that your top, just like in multiplication area model, is your answer this time. Because remember, we're going backwards. We started with a multiplication answer, and we divided, so we're going backwards. So, of course, just like normal area, we have 70 plus 4, and that's 74. That's my answer. And then that 2, that leftover, actually becomes your remainder. Okay, so the total answer for this problem is 74 remainder 2. Alright, I hope that made sense, and hopefully I just will jog your memory. This is the same type of stuff that I'm going to be teaching you guys in class. And, well, good luck.